Welcome to Operation Data Analytics. In this video, we're going to cover the SUMIFS function in Microsoft Excel. The SUMIFS function can be used to quickly calculate the sum of values in a range based on multiple criteria. Before we begin, I do want to let you know that there is a free download link in the description for the sample workbook I will be using throughout this tutorial. For our first objective, we're going to go ahead and calculate the total sales for Nevada. So I'm going to go ahead and click on cell F7 and I'm going to type equals SUMIFS, open parentheses. And then you can see a little pop-up box appearing below our cell that's telling us what arguments the function is looking for. So the first argument is going to be the sum range, and this is going to be the range that we want to add up. So in our case, since we want to find the total sales for Nevada, we're going to go ahead and hover over column D and then left click. Now we're going to go ahead and insert a comma, and that lets the function know that that is the sum range that's been selected. Next, the function is asking us for the criteria range 1 argument. So since we're looking exclusively for Nevada, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to hover over column C and then left click. Next, we're going to go ahead and add a comma. And now we can see that the function is asking for the criteria 1 argument. So since we're trying to look up the total sales for Nevada, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and type a quote, and then we're going to type Nevada, and then another quote. And then we're going to go ahead and close our parenthesis. So how this function reads is we want it to add up everything in column D whenever column C is equal to Nevada. So go ahead and hit enter on the keyboard. And then as you can see, the total sales is now showing $400, which if we locate our Nevada figures manually, that is the total amount of the sales for Nevada. Our next objective is going to be located on the tab Objective 2. So for our next objective, we're going to go ahead and find the total sales that Abby Baker made in Nevada. So again, I'm going to go ahead and click on cell F7 and type equals SUMIFS, open parentheses. And we can see that the first argument again is asking for the sum range, which again is going to be column D. So I'm going to left click on column D, and then I'm going to insert a comma. Our next argument is criteria range 1. So since we want to find the total sales for Abby Baker in Nevada, I'm going to go ahead and click on column B, and then insert a comma. Now, what we're looking for in column B is the word Abby Baker. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a quote and then type Abby Baker and then another quote. And then I'm going to insert my comma to let the function know that that is our criteria 1. You can now see that the function is asking for criteria range 2. So since we want to see the sales that Abby Baker made in Nevada, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to left click on column C where our states names are located. I'm going to insert a comma. And then the argument is now criteria 2, which is going to be quote Nevada, quote. And then I'm going to go ahead and close my parenthesis. So how this function reads is we want it to add up any value located in column D when column B, the employee name, is equal to Abby Baker, and column C, the state names, is equal to Nevada. So go ahead and hit enter on the keyboard. And you can see the total sales is showing $200. Now, if we go over and manually find the range that we calculated, these are the only fields that have Abby Baker and Nevada, which is equal to $200. Our next objective is going to be located on the Objective 3 tab. So for this objective, we're going to find the total sales that Abby Baker made using a variable cell target. So I'm going to start by clicking on cell G7, and I'm going to type equals SUMIFS, open parenthesis. Our sum range is going to be column D, and then insert a comma. And then our target range or criteria range 1 is going to be column B, where our employee names are at. And then I'm going to insert a comma. And the next argument it's asking for is criteria 1. Now in our previous example, we would type Abby Baker specifically into the function here, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on cell F7, and then I'm going to close my parenthesis. So how this function reads is we want it to add any values in column D when column B is equal to cell F7. So go ahead and hit enter on the keyboard. And you can see that it's showing $400, which is the total amount for Abby Baker. Now, the nice thing with this method is at any point we can quickly change our cell target in F7, which will automatically update our calculation. So let's say that I want to go ahead and switch this to Andrew Baker instead. So I'm just going to go ahead and type Andrew Baker into this cell, and then we should show a total of $900, which is located right here. One sale for $500, one sale for $400. For our next objective, we're going to go ahead and move over to the Objective 4 tab. So for this objective, we want to find the total sales for each employee located below. So I'm going to start by clicking on cell G7, and I'm going to go ahead and type equals SUMIFS, open parenthesis. And then again, we're trying to find the total sales for each employee, and we're going to use a cell target, again, just like our last example. So I'm going to go ahead and click on column D, where our sales amounts are located, insert a comma. Criteria range 1 is going to be column B, insert a comma. And then for criteria 1, we're actually just going to target the cell directly to the left like we did in our last objective. So I'm going to go ahead and click on cell F7. I'm going to close the parenthesis. And again, this is going to read that we want it to add up all of the values in column D whenever column B is equal to cell F7. So go ahead and hit enter on the keyboard. Now for this next step, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and re-click on G7. And then in the lower right-hand corner, there's a little green square. So we're going to go ahead and hover over that until our cursor changes into a plus sign. And then we're going to left click and hold, and then we're going to drag down until our cursor is located at the bottom of G14. Once your cursor's in this location, go ahead and let go on the mouse. And that's going to cause our function to copy and paste itself throughout the entire range that we had selected. So now you can see all of the total sales amount here are actually pulling the total sales for the employee that's located directly to the left. That's everything we have for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more content like this in the future.